Okidok. Frech. Woohoo! Yay! Jump! Ab geht's. So, das ist meine Idee. Was denkt ihr?
It's all coming together. I got it. Hyoko's body was hidden before we found it.
But it would have taken quite a long time to tape up a hidden body.
No, the body was already taped up and the killer hid it, along with the pillar using the wallpaper.
What? They hid the pillar?
Yeah, by wrapping the wallpaper around the pillar, the killer was able to create a slightly larger pillar. So when I first discovered Ibuki's body, Hyoko's body was already there. However, because it was concealed within a slightly larger pillar, I didn't realize that at the time.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, it makes sense that you'd notice Ibuki's body right away.
So they used the baton lighting on the ceiling to hang the wallpaper?
The baton lighting forms a perfect circle around the pillar. So using it to hang the wallpaper totally fits.
Then, the reason the wallpaper was covered in so many stickers was to make it look like that pillar.
That's how they hid Hyoko's body, and then peeled off the wallpaper as soon as I left the music venue.
Ja, selbst bei Hyoko hätte Mika ein Motiv.
But the killer made a mistake. They accidentally ripped off a piece of the wallpaper. And because of that, a scrap was left on the baton lighting.
The killer must have been in a hurry. Their plan took too long. Hajime could have walked in on them.
But going to the trouble of hiding the body and the pillar is very bold and risky.
Zumindest
But
für
the
meine
crime
These.
itself would be much easier to pull off since they don't have much to do while Hajime's gone. They just have to peel off that wallpaper and stash it in the storage room. It's
Not that big of a deal.
When was Hyoko actually killed?
good point. And on that note, it's about time we shed some light on those imitation murders.
You mentioned imitation murder more than once. But what is that?
Are you kidding me? You haven't seen my masterpiece? The Wizard of Monami 2.5D?
Hey, don't put my likeness in your movies without my permission.
You're pretty noisy for someone who eats mothballs.
I don't eat mothballs. I just enjoy looking at them. I knew it. There are so many similarities. It must have been intentional.
Ibuki's death by hanging matches the Scarecrow's death from the
Yummy.
movie. Not just
I
that,
don't really think so.
but Hyoko getting taped up after her death matches the lion's death.
It's as if both crimes were replicas of scenes from the movie, although the mutilated Tin Man was omitted.
But why did the killer go to all this trouble in the first place?
Well, Kit Kat Kitten, I forgot to ask. Where are you from, actually? Or did I ask you? I'm not really sure right now. I think you're in the US over there, right?
Based on what we know, the reason the killer chose these imitations isn't that difficult to figure out.
United States. Alright. The reason the killer imitated the two victims. It was to mix up the killing order.
I see!
The reason the killer imitated two of the murders from the movie was so he'd mix up the killing order.
Then Hyoko was actually killed before Ibuki?
So you just understand those walls of texts that Predator is posting. Unfortunately, over here in Germany, we don't get so many visual novels with a German dubbing or subtitles. So, as he knows the game completely, he declared himself, or he volunteered himself to write some summaries for those people who are not that good with the English language, so they understand what's going on at the moment. So don't wonder about those walls of text that he's posting.
A valid line of reasoning.
Because I usually you're not a hostage, dude. Stop that. Usually I save my streams and put them in collections, as you might have seen in the videos section, and then the people who are not good with the English language can read it as well. So it's some kind of an added service to this part of game.
Yeah, it's valid. The condition of Ibuki's body suggests that as well.
What do you mean? If you're going to cry and beg like that, then I guess I'll hear about the condition of Ibuki's body.
I'm not even crying.
I'll let you sob as much as you want later. Just hurry up and tell me before I change my mind.
What a jerk!
Oh, I see. You want me to explain it to you, right? Because you don't understand what I'm saying, right?
An even bigger jerk? Impossible!
Look, Ibuki died because she hanged herself, right? That means when she was still alive, her feet were touching the floor.
What's wrong with that?
But it seems Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was killed. That would mean Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
How light. Your words are so light as the sylph's feather. Your opponent is out of your league. It is too absurd to try to perplex me so inadequately.
Man, he's being annoying again.
First and foremost, you claim Ibuki's feet were touching the floor when Hiyoko was killed. How can a low-class creature with no psychic abilities like you know something like that?
Because she was doing something that's only possible if her feet were on the floor.
It seems you suffer from a pathetic delusion.
I think you are way too high above your head, dude.
You're one to talk.
Anyway, if this continues, we're just gonna talk in circles. I think it's best if we clarify Ibuki's status when Hiyoko was killed. Ich weiß, worauf es hinausläuft. Blood on the souls.
When Hiyoko died, Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
I am telling you to present your evidence.
Did you see her walking?
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
I agree with that.
That's richtig. That's right.
Just as Sonia said, Ibuki stepped on something. That something was blood. There were faint blood stains on the soles of her slippers.
That's richtig.
That is not Ibuki's blood, right? She suffered no external injuries.
Sometimes I have to do some Denglishing. Or Germanglishing.
Then it's Hiyoko's blood.
Hiyoko's only wound was a fatal slice on her neck. And she died almost instantly, right?
Because, Kit Katkin, I don't know if you know that word. It's often used when German people emphasize on using English words in their language, in their sentences. So it's called Denglish. Hiyoko's only okay.
If Ibuki stepped on her blood,
It means Ibuki was still standing
more
when
you
Hiyoko
know.
was mortally wounded. Which means Ibuki was still alive at the exact moment Hiyoko was killed.
Don't underestimate the power of the
Uh-oh.
evil eye.
Uh-oh.
Is that it? A shepherd dressed in his Sunday's finest still reeks of lamb, Hajime Hinata.
Does that mean you have a rebuttal?
Does that mean you have a rebuttal? That's a good line.
I want to drink of a whiskey bottle.
But Are you sure you're sure? If I show you how serious I am, this world might be destroyed, you know. You're so frightened you can't even make a sound. It seems you've realized our difference in
Power of
status.
the evil eye.
However, the time for conviction starts now. You better entertain me to the fullest. You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to... Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no... You can't step on blood that was
Nein!
never
Ich glaube, da war's schon.
there. Just about... Did you see a nice nightmare?
Despite his exaggerated protest, I feel like I've already seen an opening to counter. Is this a trap?
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet... Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor.
Hab!
Allow me to cut through those words! That's not it. The reason there was no blood on the floor is because the killer wiped it away afterward.
Don't say such foolish things. You don't have proof of that at all.
Yes, I do. If you look closely, there's a streak on the floor where blood was wiped away.
When the killer tried to hide Hyoko's body, they probably cleaned the blood at the same time, but...
I actually kind of like those rebuttal things right now, but one thing is missing from the first game. Those reactions in the dialogues. That's something I really miss in this game actually. Also es gibt wirklich eine Sache, die ich aus dem ersten Teil vermisse bis jetzt, dass wir auf Aussagen so eingehen mit Reactions. Erinnert ihr euch? Das fehlt einfach. Das fehlt einfach irgendwie.
Ibuki must have already stepped in it, and the killer probably didn't even realize it.
The reason they wiped off the blood on the floor was so we'd mix up the order of the murders, right? Even if they're able to hide Hyoko's body, it'd be bad if her blood was left out in the open.
Plus, Ibuki's body was left out in the open, and it wasn't bleeding from any open wounds at all.
Hyoko's body was probably wrapped in duct tape to stop her bleeding.
Actually, the bleeding will stop once the heart stops beating. So I don't think they had to go that far.
I'll be there when your heart stops beating.
Aside from Mikon, none of us were aware of that fact, so the killer probably did not know it either.
Maybe the heater was running inside the music venue so it would screw with Mikon's autopsy?
That's right! I didn't know the time of death because of the heater!
If the time of death wasn't mentioned in the Monokuma file just to keep concrete evidence from us.
Yep. Since we have all this evidence, there's no one else who wants to object, right? Then it's decided. Hyoko was killed before Ibuki.
It appears that it is wiser to retreat for now. Fine then, but regardless of good or evil, there's no deceit in upholding one's convictions.
Can't you just shut up and back off?
Now then, let us resume our debate.
Wait a sec. There's something I want to run by Monokuma first.
Huh? Again? Didn't something like this happen last time too?
Hey, if the victim actually committed suicide, what are we supposed to do?
Huh? Suicide?
The same as always. You have to vote for who the killer is. Think about it. A suicide means you've killed the most important existence of all, yourself. Unfortunately, that means there's no Blacken to punish, but I guess in a pinch, I can always punish Monami.
Why me?
Nagito? What do you mean? If the victim actually committed suicide?
Well, I mean, I understand Hyoko's death, but I'm wondering if Ibuki was really murdered. For example, it's possible Ibuki killed Hyoko, and then committed suicide due to a guilty conscience, right?
That's totally impossible! Then she never would have killed her to begin with!
She was afflicted by the despair disease, remember? That means anything can happen.
Und Opa Dino, wie gesagt, falls dir die Story gefällt des Ganzen, Der erste Teil war richtig gut, also da war schon sehr Gutes dabei. Und der zweite Teil soll jetzt anscheinend so ein Zwischenbereich sein, weil es gibt auch eine Anime-Serie zu dem Ganzen hier. Das hat ja Sapsi auch schon erzählt. Die erste Staffel spielt quasi das erste Spiel nach, beziehungsweise fast das erste Spiel zusammen. Und dann sollte man dieses Spiel hier anschauen, beziehungsweise machen. Na? Und wenn man dieses Spiel gesehen hat, soll man sich die nächste Staffel aus dem Anime anschauen. Und dann das dritte Spiel. Deswegen werden wir auch nach diesem Spiel bezüglich der Visual Novel Danganronpa eine gewisse Pause machen. Damit man eben halt da auch die Möglichkeit hat, sich das anzuschauen. Um dann zu einem späteren Zeitpunkt eben halt das dritte Spiel zu spielen. Wahrscheinlich werde ich dazwischen entweder den ersten Phoenix Wright Teil machen, weil den habe ich ja schon mal Let's Played. Das heißt, den könnte ich so zwischendurch reinschleudern. Oder eben halt schon Zero Escape, den ersten Teil.
But if Ibuki's the killer, she wouldn't have been able to falsify the sequence of the murders, right?
Nee, es geht ja nur darum, dass du die Story verstehst. Es geht ja nicht darum, dass ich dir zum Beispiel jetzt meinen Stream aufzwingen will. Das würde ich auch nicht machen. Man kann sich auch genauso gut das von Ladybuggy beispielsweise angucken. Die macht das ja auch großartig mit dem Voice Acting. Also da muss man nicht bei mir gucken, da kann man sich auch den Anime angucken, um die erste Staffel sich anzuschauen. Das sind, glaube ich, 13 Folgen.
After Hajime saw the hanged body, the sudden appearance of Hyoko's body soon after means the killer had to be alive at that time.
Then she was alive! When Hajime first discovered Ibuki, she was just pretending to be dead.
Did.
If she waited until Hajime left, that's when she could have made her move and mess with the crime scene.
She hanged herself. Remember? There's no fucking way she could have faked that.
And if she was going to fake her death, I think she wouldn't have chosen hanging. Her body would have been defenseless in that state.
Das weiß ich. Ich weiß ja, dass du so viel Zeit, dass du so wenig Zeit
alone
hast.
would have ruined her plan.
Das weiß ich ja.
So that means there's no doubt that someone killed those two. I'm glad. Now I'm free to search for the killer.
What the heck?
There's still one more issue on my mind. If Ibuki didn't commit suicide, then just what was that video Hajime saw?
Huh?
According to that video you saw, Ibuki was by herself when she climbed the stepladder, right? Then does that mean someone forced her to do it?
Forced? Perhaps they used hypnotism or something?
I don't know anything about that.
Don't say it all proud.
Putting that aside, it seems obvious that the killer did something.
Oh mein Gott. Ich habe gerade eine ganz, ganz dumpfe Vermutung. Wer sagt denn überhaupt, dass dieses Videogerät, was da kaputt gemacht wurde, das aus dem Musikzimmer war? Wer sagt das? Es könnte ja genauso gut sein, dass es das eigentlich aus dem, beziehungsweise, dass das immer ist, was im Krankenhauszimmer war und kaputt gemacht wurde. Ja? Das glaube ich. Ja, dann bin ich ja froh, dass das gut gelaufen ist. Weil ich habe so ich habe nämlich wirklich jetzt gerade so das Gefühl, dass der Täter das Videogerät aus dem Krankenhaus mitgenommen hat, gegen das aus dem Musikraum ausgetauscht hat, unterm Vorwand, dass das eigentlich zum Krankenhaus gehört, kaputt gemacht hat und das aus dem Musikraum vorher dort deponiert hat. Weil dann könnte es durchaus sein, obwohl, wie sollte das... Es wäre ja nur machbar, wenn man noch ein drittes hätte eigentlich, was ich jetzt gerade überlege. Ich halte das trotzdem mal im Hinterkopf.
So, maybe we should figure out who was able to do whatever that was.
So, an alibi. Then our plan is to destroy the weakest alibi. Since Hajime has seen the video, it is clear what time the crime took place.
But just to be sure, that surveillance camera doesn't have a record function, right?
It's a cheap-ass surveillance camera, you know? There's no way it'd have some kind of sweet recording feature.
Then the video Hajime saw was actually live?
It could have been faked.
What time did Hajime see that video?
I saw it at the hospital, right before Monokuma's morning announcement. And I saw the body at the music venue a little after Monokuma's announcement.
So Ibuki hanged herself right before Monokuma's announcement. And since we established that Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki, that means the time that the murders occurred was before and during the announcement.
Aber ich muss jetzt gerade überlegen, Haru muss jetzt ziemlich stark sein, ne? Die muss jetzt stark bleiben.
Then we just have to find the person who doesn't have an alibi during that time?
Einer ihrer Lieblingscharaktere ist Put.
Now then, I shall issue my decree. Let Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi commence.
Ja, ist ja kein Problem.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Das stimmt.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then...
No, that's
Das
wrong!
stimmt nicht. Wir erinnern uns an Mikans Aussage.
Hold on. Not all of us are missing an alibi. In fact, Mikan and I both have alibis.
Und wie geht's dem den Poten für den dinotastischen dimensionalen Donnerdaum? Wie geht's denen?
You two have alibis?
Up until I saw that hanging video, Mikan and I were actually together for a while.
We even woke up together that morning.
Hey, what kind of situation is that?
Pimp-Modus von Hajime.
I accidentally fell asleep on top of Hajime.
Chiakis Herz bricht gerade zusammen. Schaut euch das mal an.
Too much info.
Das ist einfach nur TMI.
Yeah, it's not like that. She just came to tell me Nagato's condition had improved.
And we went to the hospital together afterward. So we were together until right before the announcement.
Krass.
I get it. You guys have alibis.
Chiaki ist Gamerin, die darf das.
If that's the case,
Die hat so eine
the killer must be someone else.
Brosche von einem Spiel. Hat sie als Haarspange.
It's better if we think about it like that.
Sure, Hajime.
The killer decided to falsify the murder sequence to hide the actual time of the crime anyway.
Pimp, bei dir war es der Tischdienst, der dich endgültig reingeritten hat. Und dann der Tanz bei World of Warcraft, wo Return of the Mag lief. Das hat dich endgültig reingeritten. Dadurch ist der Name entstanden, erinner dich.
So it's inevitable that an alibi for both before and during the morning announcement would be very important.
Du wirst deinen Namen nicht los, kleiner Mann.
It feels like Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has backed us into a corner instead.
But committing an imitation murder, is that really all it was?
At least you tried. Huh?
Faking the time the crime occurred by falsifying the murder sequence, hiding their alibi in the process? Was that the only reason the killer made both bodies imitate the movie?
Are you saying there was another reason?
I feel really bad for confusing you guys so much, but that's how I feel.
Du wolltest aufklären? In Form von Immanuel Kant oder dem dir üblichen Aufklären?
I think the killer had a completely different reason for falsifying the murder sequence.
Der killer had a different reason? If that's the case, are we still in the killer's trap? Inside a trap set by one of us? If so, then whose and what kind of trap is it? Suspended. Ah, wir werden auf jeden Fall jetzt noch weitermachen.
Hiya!
Why, hello there, Monami. The moss balls sure look tasty today.
Stop it!
Don't characterize me as someone who lives off moss balls. And here's some chance time. Sind wir jetzt bei Mario Party? What? What's that? Now then, Monomi's appeal time starts now. Huh? Appeal time? Verschoben. Beziehungsweise vertagt, kannst du in diesem Fall sagen. Oder pausiert. Pausiert, vertagt, verschoben. Your kind-hearted big brother is gonna give you the chance to reclaim your honor. Good luck. Show those jerks who treat you like a red-headed stepchild who's boss. That's 99% your fault. While you were whining, your time's already running out. So please make your appeal simple. About 30,000 words or so. That's too long. It'll just be a boring appeal. Come on, if your appeal is successful, there might be merchandise opportunities heading your way. Then I'm Uzumaki. I'm Uzami, magical miracle girl, star Uzami. I'm an itty-bitty girl who's sweet like milk. Jeez, and I thought a certain robot's little sister was supposed to be the best.
What a disappointment!
Ich hab Uzumaki gesagt, ja? Ich weiß nicht. What are you talking about? I have no clue whatsoever. Okay, speichern wieder. Ist aber auch schön, dass die jetzt immer eine Pause gemacht haben für das Trial. Wahrscheinlich haben die sich gesagt, die werden jetzt echt zu lang.
I'm Monami. Once again, I've been put in such an unreasonable situation. Seriously, he's like the king of unreasonableness. Why did it turn out like this? We were supposed to have a fun, friendly school trip, but it turned out all bloody instead.
Moment mal eben.
No! This definitely cannot be allowed. That's why I want you to remember this. Everyone, do your very best. Don't lose to yourself. And don't forget to save frequently.
The reason the killer did an imitation murder is a reason other than falsifying the murder sequence. Does something like that even exist?
Huh. It suddenly got quiet in here. Did I confuse you? If so, I wish I could die from self-loathing.
Man, this again.
If that's the case, it would have been just dandy if they had gone ahead and killed me too. If that happened, the imitation would have been perfect. So why didn't they do that?
Well, it's against the rules to kill 3 people in the first place.
That rule is too harsh. I couldn't get killed because of that.
Seriously, just shut up already! Shut up forever!
But I'm thinking about it again, and he's totally right. It feels incomplete.
Because they didn't kill 3 people like the movie did? That's only because of Monokuma's rule.
It's not just that. Come on, try to remember the content of the movie. About the lion that got killed second.
That's the one Hyoko's body was imitating, right?
Even though we're calling it an imitation, the lion was actually pinned by arrows, right? But Hyoko's body was suspended by common household duct tape.
Maybe they just used a common substitute because it was too difficult to imitate the arrows.
Well, that's probably it, but that attitude is what makes this feel incomplete. If falsifying the murder sequence was the killer's plan from the very beginning, they should have taken steps to properly imitate it.
But if we never realized it was a half-assed imitation, their entire plan would have been completely useless.
What are you trying to say? Are you saying the imitation wasn't planned?
I'm saying Hiyoko's murder wasn't.
What?
Hiyoko's murder wasn't planned?
I understand that imitation wasn't enough, but aren't you making a bunch of assumptions?
It's not just the poor imitation. There are also other strange details.
Strange details? Like what?
Like, for example, why did Hiyoko go to the music venue?
Why did Hiyoko go to the music venue?
So, you're saying the truth behind Hiyoko's murder is hidden?
Ah, okay.
I have no freaking clue what you're trying to say.
However, this is getting quite interesting. My 4 dark devas of destruction are getting riled up.
Und auch vielen Dank für den Follow, Unkreativ. Das sehe ich gerade hier. Why Hiyoko went to the music venue? If that's the key to all this? I need to find that out, no matter the cost. Ja, also ich habe erst gedacht, Sonia wird sowas ähnliches wie Celeste, aber sie ist mir bisher absolut neutral, sage ich mal. Also ich habe weder negative noch positive Ansichten bei ihr, muss ich sagen. Zumindest was die Story so angeht. Ich glaube, ich weiß, worauf das hinausläuft jetzt. Das ist das Einzige, was Sinn macht gerade.
Why did Hiyoko go to the music venue? There's no way we'd know that!
Maybe the killer summoned her.
If that's not it, maybe she got abducted by the killer.
No, maybe. She went of her own free will.
I agree with that.
Das glaube ich nämlich auch. Sonst hätte sie ja den Schlüssel nicht dabei, ne?
It's just as Sonia said. She went to the music venue of her own free will.
So, exactly as I assumed.
If no one called for her, then why did she go?
Hiyoko locked herself in her room because she was being overly cautious of the despair disease, you know? I don't think a person like that would leave their room just because someone called for them.
There's no way she got abducted?
Hiyoko locked the room she was staying in before she went out.
If she was forcibly taken from her room, there's no way she would have had time to lock it.
The killer could have locked her door, right? Just to hide the fact Hiyoko got abducted.
Then they couldn't have hidden her room key that deep in her kimono. They would have put it somewhere more obvious. Otherwise, there's no point in messing with the crime scene if nobody finds the key. At the time, you were the one who actually took out the key, right? Then something like that.
I won't lose.
Uh-oh. Rebuttal.
Are you saying my gut was wrong? This could be my first and last highlight of the day. Why won't you just let me shine already?
No, that's not the issue.
Shut
Stimmt, er hat
up!
seine Mütze nie
Enough
abgenommen,
with
also
your
die Soda
fancy
ist wohl noch
talk.
geschlossen.
I'll shut you up right now.
Ich denke, wir brauchen
Hiyoko was
das.
locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted. The killer forced their way into Hiyoko's room and forcibly abducted her. The girl is so small and weak-looking. And that's why the killer targeted her.
Hab sie.
But Hiyoko's room was locked. The key was deep inside her kimono, remember? It's more likely that Hiyoko locked the door herself.
The killer was the one who locked the door. So what if the key was in her kimono? Maybe the killer just put it there later.
Keine Chance, Mädel.
There's no reason for the killer to put the key in Hiyoko's kimono. The killer probably didn't realize she even had the key.
Hold on! Try remembering Hiyoko's body. Her kimono was all messed. There's only one reason her kimono would be that messed up. She fought the killer.
Nix da.
Allow me to
Niemals.
cut through those words.
Niemals. Sie hat niemals mit ihm gekämpft. Niemals.
The reason Hyoko's kimono was messed up was because she wasn't able to properly wear it.
Wear her kimono?
Yeah, it's also the reason why she decided to go out on her own.
Hyoko seemed to be really struggling with wearing her kimono. I believe that was one of the reasons she locked herself in her room. That is why I informed her. I told her that there was a full-length mirror at the music venue, and I suggested that she use it.
Then the reason her kimono was messed up wasn't because she fought the killer.
Ach, und mir fällt auch gerade auf, bei dem Video, wir müssten doch, wenn der Kerzenschein da unten zu sehen ist, das ist doch irgendwie viel zu nah gewesen, oder? Naja, wir werden es alles sehen.
Yeah, she went
Ich
to the
denk schon
venue
viel
on her
zu
own just
weit.
to fix her messed up kimono.
I get it. I lost. Boil me, burn me, take off my clothes. Do whatever you want to me.
Gut, dass sie das jetzt gesagt hat, wo der Nobody nicht da ist. Der hat ja gestern wieder seine 5 Minuten gehabt.
Hajime, now's your chance. Make her admit defeat. Or better yet, make her do a little something something.
Hell no.
Then, the killer probably couldn't have assumed that Hiyoko would go to the music venue.
Konnichiwa.
Though that may not apply to Sonia, since she provided Hiyoko with that information.
Joanna, Simikuchi.
Though I knew she would go there, there is no way I could have predicted when she would arrive.
Don't go doubting Miss Sonia, you cretin. I'll put you and your hamsters 6 feet under.
Kazuichi, it seems you have quite the fashion sense. Do you want me to incinerate your clothes? Perhaps I could do that while you're wearing them.
Gundam, please stop! For his sake!
Huh? What do you mean, for my sake?
Einen Moment mal eben. Yeah, somehow it's been odd, yes.
I've already overlooked no less than 10 opportunities to kill you.
Even if the killer couldn't predict it, why did Hiyoko get killed in the music venue?
The only thing I can think of is, it was an unfortunate coincidence.
Coincidence?
When she went to the venue by herself, she was probably just unlucky and walked in on the crime scene.
She was killed so there wouldn't be any loose ends?
It probably happened when the killer was preparing to kill Ibuki. The killer most likely had already placed the hemp bag over her head, and without hesitation,
Killed Hiyoko.
because the killer used that coincidence for their crime, it made this case even trickier.
That's the reason they imitated the movie to falsify the murder sequence.
Which means that low-down scoundrel didn't plan on committing imitation murders at first.
Then what was the killer actually planning to do? They've been cunning this far. There's no way they'd kill Ibuki without a plan. Do you have any ideas?
And thanks for the follow, Joanna. Just so you know, I am playing this game for the first time and I don't know any of the outcomes beforehand, so just so you know.
Damn, we don't know the most important part.
The killer's plan from the beginning. I'm pretty sure we're very, very close.
Hey Nagito, any ideas?
Hey, how long are you gonna stay quiet?
Oh, am I allowed to speak? I'm so happy I'm getting goosebumps. Everyone actually needs help from scum like me.
So what do you think?
I was thinking about it while I had my mouth shut. But now I'm finally able to come to a conclusion. Ibuki definitely didn't commit suicide.
Huh? What are you talking about?
I thought there might be a possibility that she faked her death and tampered with the crime scene. But now I remember. There was blood on Ibuki's slippers.
I dropped some frames, Predator. It might have been on my end.
So if she faked her death and walked around the music venue tampering with the crime scene, there'd be bloody footprints left in various places throughout the venue.
Oh my god, that smell.
So that's why I think there's no way she faked her death. There's no way Ibuki committed suicide.
You know, we already finished talking about that a while ago.
Huh? Really? That's annoying. I guess I should just awkwardly laugh about it then.
Are you freaking kidding me? There's no limit to how useless you can be.
Okay, war ein Ausfall bei dir. No, wait a minute. If Ibuki had blood on her feet, there'd be footprints all over the place if she kept walking around.
That's strange. That's very strange.
This is strange? What's strange?
I see. It's not something we finished talking about. Those footprints. There's still an important clue left that we completely overlooked. Just as Nagito said, if she had blood on her feet, she would have left footprints. Then why weren't there any footprints on the step ladder? Stimmt.
I can prove it with this! If Ibuki used the stepladder to hang herself, it's strange that there weren't any footprints on it.
Huh? There weren't?
Nope, there weren't.
Yeah, that stepladder was completely clean. No footprints or bloodstains at all.
You noticed such a small detail! How amazing! This is truly the talent of a chosen ultimate!
What are you talking about? You were obviously leading us to this. That's why you brought up the suicide topic after all this time. Nagito Komaeda, you're definitely someone I shouldn't underestimate.
Didn't you say you saw that video of Ibuki climbing the stepladder? Then, I think there's no doubt that she really did climb it.
Unless there was something funny about that video.
I see. So there was some kind of trick arranged in that video,
But that's something only Hajime would know, since he's the only one who saw that video.
Ich fand das übrigens auch toll gestern, dass einige von euch bei dem Raid gestern Abend noch mitgemacht haben und sich dort auch im Chat beteiligt haben. Das fand ich richtig toll. So, just as I thought, it comes down to that. The mystery surrounding this incident is contained in that video. And whether or not we can reach that hidden truth is all up to me.
Hajime, I leave it in your hands.
Das macht
As
sie
long
richtig
as I
gut.
leave this to you, I won't tell you to do your best, but oh well. You should get started already.
Yeah, I'll definitely try.
There was some hidden clue in that video. I should have seen something strange as I watched it. I'm the only one who can clear that up. I'm the only one who actually saw that video. So I'm the only one who can do it. The hanging video that I saw. Based on everything we know from the debates thus far, I should be able to figure out what's strange. Ja, ist ja kein Thema.
Here! That's right, I remember now. There was definitely something strange about that video.
Can you explain it to us?
What's strange is that stepladder I mentioned earlier. It's true that the steps of that stepladder weren't dirty, but on one side.
Weil das ist immer so auch die Zeit sonntags, wo das bei uns auch immer von der Zeit her ziemlich gut passt, wenn wir da reinschauen. Weil wenn wir das nicht machen, dann würde das immer so um 2 oder 3 Uhr sein. Ich glaube, das ist das Internet, worauf er gerade sauer ist. Ja, ich auch. Ich glaube das auch.
There was a bloodstain, right on the left side of the stepladder. However, that contradicts the video I saw at the hospital.
Oder er wird jetzt gerade zu Genocider Jack.
There weren't any bloodstains on the stepladder in the video. It was completely clean.
That is truly strange. If the video showed the moment of Ibuki's death, then Hiyoko should have already been dead by that point.
Ding!
Even so, the fact is the stepladder had blood on it at the actual crime scene. But the stepladder in the video was completely bloodless.
And there's no way the video was recorded in advance. If that's the case, the only thing I can think of is...
It's possible those two stepladders were completely different.
Wait, are you saying there were 2 stepladders?
But where would you find another stepladder? There was only one stepladder in the music venue.
Wir wissen von einem anderen Room, der so aufbereitet werden könnte.
Then one of the stepladders was somewhere other than the music venue.
What do you mean?
You're suggesting that the stepladder in the video isn't the only thing that's different. Am I right? That's amazing, Chiaki! All that gaming has given you incredible deduction skills. Is it okay to say that?
What are you two talking about?
The stepladder isn't the only thing that's different, huh? Chiaki said that the stepladder was at a different place, but... If that's the case, the thing that's different between that video and the actual scene of the crime is that thing, the place where the killer did something. Ablenkung, würde ich sagen. Jetzt habe ich gerade ein bisschen die Übersicht verloren. Nein, ich hab's doch gedrückt. Ach Mann. Dann jetzt. Fuck you. Clock you. Jetzt wird's schlimm. Jawohl.
I got it!
Filming Location. Ja, es wird ja immer schwerer. Das ist auch gut so. Das finde ich gut.
That's right.
Ich persönlich finde
Besides
es gut,
the
wenn es so
stepladder,
wird
the
vom
filming location
Schwierigkeitsgrad
must have
her.
been different too.
What do you mean?
I
Oder
mean, the
Herleitung,
video I saw was
Deductions,
not
ja.
filmed at the music venue. It was filmed somewhere else.
But
Das
the
war ja
hospital
meine
monitor's
Vermutung, das ist
supposed to
woanders
display
gefilmt
footage
worden.
captured by the music venue camera, you know?
Then, there's a possibility that the killer also tampered with the surveillance camera unit.
In order to show us that they filmed the video at the music venue instead of somewhere else. What did the killer do to that surveillance camera unit? Oh, das hört sich wieder an wie Logic Dive! Jawohl. What the fuck, dude? Jetzt muss ich mich gerade konzentrieren. Ich kann gerade den Chat nicht lesen, Leute. Blauen Weg. Hier gibt's kein Bremsen. Hier gibt's nur volle Kartoffel. Immer knapper. Jo! Wuhu! Letzte Frage. Auf jeden Fall.
It's all coming together. That's it. The killer just brought the camera from the music venue. With it, they made me think it was a live feed from the venue, when it was actually from somewhere else.
Das habe ich mir gedacht. Das war das, was ich gerade vermutet habe.
Then only the monitor was left in the music venue?
Ja, ein bisschen schon,
At
ne?
least when I first discovered Ibuki's body.
Oder wer von euch hat damals die Sonic-Spiele gespielt mit Tails, wo man so in dieser Dings gelaufen ist? Durch diese Tunnel da gelaufen ist. In den Bonusleveln.
That means you should have realized that from the start and made this easier on all of us.
Ja, Cool Borders geht auch, ja, stimmt.
He did discover the body. I doubt his attention was focused on the camera.
Well, that's true, but... In order to hide that the camera was missing, the killer did one more thing to the remaining monitor.
That thing, he destroyed it. Das ist ja das, was ich gesagt habe.
The killer smashed the monitor to pieces, destroying it. As long as it was in pieces, you wouldn't be able to tell if the camera was actually there or not. My attention was so focused on the body that even I couldn't have noticed something like that.
And the moment Hajime left the music venue, the killer put back the camera they took.
And they destroyed it and left that in pieces as well.
It's easy to say it was filmed somewhere else, but the surveillance camera's connection wasn't that strong.
Despite Kazuichi's desperate repair efforts, it seems it could not transmit from the hospital to the motel.
The fact that it was able to connect between the hospital and the music venue is amazing enough.
Which means even if it was filmed in another place, as long as it was transmitting to the hospital, the range would be pretty limited. If that's the case, where was the video filmed to make it look like it was filmed in the music venue? Ist doch klar wo. That place in that building. Ist doch klar wo. Muss ich das jetzt wieder aufbauen? Oh, nö, das ist wieder so ein scheiß langes Ding. Can we get up on the road? Maybe just me. If we get on this road. Ich kaufe ein E und möchte lösen. Bratwurst. Wo bleibt das F? Geht doch. Boah, stelle ich mir mit dem Controller katastrophal vor. Oh, jetzt hätte ich es machen können. Ich werde langsam wach, ich merke das.
I got it!
Ich werde langsam wach. Ah,
It's possible that it was filmed at the hospital's conference room.
Huh? A conference room?
But the hospital and the music venue look completely different.
That's exactly why the killer did something to make those two places resemble each other.
to make the conference room look like the music venue, the killer went ahead and did some work. Für die PS Vita ist das ja kein Problem, die hat ja auch ein Touchscreen, da ist es ja kein Thema. I've got to make clear what that work was. Das kann sich ja eigentlich jetzt nur um den Dings hier behandeln.
There's no way the conference room and the music venue look the same.
Which place resembled the other? Did the conference room look like the music venue?
I knew it, so the killer tried to... Oops. That's proof you won't be able to make the conference.
Damn it!
Ups, war falsch. Ich hab das Falsche genommen.
There's no way the conference and the music venue.
Which place resembled the other? Did the conference room look like the music venue?
Ach, Quatsch.
Or did the music venue look like the con...
Or did they make some
Nein,
kind of
ich
set?
dummer Hund. Falsche Knopf
Might have
gedrückt.
tampered with the camera.
I still can't believe he mixed up the film
Ja, Haru, der
locations.
wird schon langsam wach.
Hajime,
Boah, bist du
you're
zweimal
pretty
während meines
stupid.
Streams eingeschlafen? Das ist Determination. Das ist Determination.
There's no way the conference room and the music venue look the same.
Zweimal während meines
Which
Streams
place resembled the
eingeschlafen.
other?
Überleg mal.
Did the conference room look like the music venue? Or did the music venue look like the...
That must be it!
Das ist es. Ah,
What
geht
the
doch.
killer did was make the music venue, the crime scene, look like the conference room. They did that by using the black curtain hanging at the back of the stage.
From what I remember, there used to be a really flashy curtain. But after the incident,
Kazuichi was useful for once.
it somehow became a plain black curtain that didn't seem to be the right size.
That's right! It's so half-assed, just like Monami.
Oh yeah? Well, your face looks stupid.
That curtain was hung so the music venue would look like the conference room?
In actuality, even though the curtain in the conference room doesn't stand out, it is a black light-blocking curtain that's long enough to reach the floor.
I see. The conference room. In
Indeed, the floor that
the
room is.
same color as the music venue stage. So the killer chose the conference room because they realized the floor matched.
Ui, toll.
Matching floors, matching curtains.
Moin.
I guess it makes sense you'd mistake the two.
But that's not all. There should be something else the killer did to tamper with the evidence. Probably.
Something else the killer did to make the music venue look like the conference room. Ja, die Kerze.
I can prove it with this! You're referring to the candle in the music venue, right? In the video I saw, a candle was used for lighting. But if you think about it, that's pretty strange. The music venue has good lighting, so there's no reason to even use candlelight.
But wouldn't they have done it to make it feel creepier?
That might have been another